Hello, Disney Infinity trainers. Welcome back to another episode of my podcast, tubecast series. I don't know what to call it yet. Maybe if I continue to do more of these, I will kind of name it as a series. But right now I'm just calling it like Disney Infinity Discussion. But welcome back, nevertheless. So we have a little bit more news to talk about. It's only been a couple days since my last post, and we already have new characters. So that's what this video is about. The new characters that were kind of revealed this morning. And I say revealed, not announced, because we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, let's briefly kind of go back to the Marvel Battlegrounds playset, because I posted that video. Actually, I recorded the video of me talking about the new Captain America and the Marvel Battlegrounds playset. I posted it, or I recorded it, I think it was Thursday night. And then Saturday afternoon, they actually had a panel where they discussed a little bit more about the Battlegrounds playset at New York Comic Con. So I feel like there's enough kind of information to talk about to kind of go back on that. It's not really a whole lot of new information. You know, they said that they were going to have this panel at New York Comic Con, and everyone was like, oh, cool. You know, maybe they'll announce some more characters, you know, stuff like that. And they really didn't announce anything at all. I think the most information we got out of it that was kind of new and that kind of reveals something is they showed 3 concept arts for different stages of the Battlegrounds playset. So the Battlegrounds playset is a 4-player brawler. It's a fighting game, basically. And so they showcase 3 of the stages that you can fight in. One was Wakanda, one was Brooklyn something Street or something like that, and then another one was the Shield Lunar Base. And they said that they couldn't reveal any more than that because they didn't want to give anything away, even though they gave that away. I think they did say that there will be more Marvel characters, they just aren't announcing them. The Marvel side of it is really kind of tight and strict on how and when they make announcements with Disney Infinity. For whatever reason, I don't know, and I'm not kind of bashing them, but that's just kind of a fact, right? Yeah, so they did reveal a little bit as far as gameplay goes for this new playset, and they said that basically any 2.0 or 3.0 Marvel character is playable in the playset. Any Marvel character. And they also said that the characters will actually have slightly different moves in this playset than they would outside of it. So in the playset, since it's a specific type of game and a specific style of, you know, gameplay, which is fighting with 4 players, they've kind of tailored the mechanics of each character to that type of gameplay. So if you play with Iron Man in the Marvel Battlegrounds playset, he will function a little bit differently than if you're playing with him in the toy box or in the Avengers playset in Disney Infinity 2.0. Now, they didn't give much information as far as like what exactly this means or what type of differences there are going to be, but they did make sure to state that. Additionally, this is the first time that Disney Infinity has ever kind of implemented this type of player versus player fighting experience in Disney Infinity. And I mean, I have a series like that on my channel, the Disney Infinity Games, and it's a lot of fun to kind of fight these 2 characters against one another. But this is the first time that, like I said, it's kind of supported and implemented by Disney Infinity themselves. And so because of that, it kind of begs the question, because this is a challenge that Dieter and I had when making the Infinity Games, is, okay, well, what if this character's at level 4 and the opponent's at level 20? Obviously, the one at level 20 is going to have a huge difference, you know? A huge advantage, sorry. And they did make sure to make note that levels kind of don't matter in this playset. So if you have a level 1 character and you're fighting against a level 19 character, either of them could win. It's not like the level 19 character has a super clear advantage. So that's something that I think is important to be aware of. And it's good to kind of see that they're doing that. So it means that you don't have to grind a ton of levels. I mean, yeah, there are ways to easily get your characters and maybe quickly get your characters to level 20, but some people don't really indulge in those. Some people don't use spark generators. Some people just want to play with their character and naturally raise them, and that's perfectly fine. And I think it's nice that Disney Infinity is kind of acknowledging that. So that's how levels work, and given that they're saying that the levels don't matter, the way that levels matter in Disney Infinity is you invest your skill points. When your character levels up, you get skill points, and then you invest those skill points to kind of improve their abilities and make them stronger, give them new powers, stuff like that. And in saying that the levels don't matter, it's kind of like they're saying that the skill tree won't matter in this playset, which makes sense given that, again, they've said that the characters are going to kind of have slightly different moves, which kind of means that it looks like each character might have like some preset moves and abilities in this playset that are different, so that kind of makes sense as far as that goes. Aside from that, the last kind of bit of useful information from that panel, and again, this is not anything like, oh my gosh, super cool and exciting, but it is kind of cool to make note of. But basically, someone asked the good question of, how are you going to be able to do 4-player local multiplayer with just one base? And so basically they said that the way it's going to be done is you have one base, and say you have four players fighting against one another. Basically, you choose the character you want to use, and you put them on the base, and it kind of scans them into the game. And then you take them off of the base and put the next one on the base, and it'll scan that one into the game. So, pretty awesome, right? So yeah, that's actually kind of cool, because it means that you can play this game, this playset, with 4 players in the room. And that's something that's never happened with Disney Infinity before. Before, you could only play with 2 people at once in the same room. And now, this opens new possibilities, not only for this playset in particular, but really just for kind of Disney Infinity in particular. It means that there is potential to see kind of more local multiplayer support maybe in the future. So it's something that's always good to be aware of, I guess. And I think that pretty much wraps up the Marvel Battlegrounds information. Oh, everyone, the panel wasn't very long. I think it was under an hour long. I think it was probably closer to 30 minutes. And then they had the Q&A, which took maybe about 10 minutes. So the panel was not very long at all. And a lot of people left, at least the people who watched the stream, a lot of people kind of ended up feeling like, okay, well, that was it. What else? Because they did not announce any new characters, which is what a lot of people were wanting. So that left some people a little kind of maybe disappointed. They also, at the panel, they gave everyone in the audience a Hulkbuster figure. So that's pretty cool. But I wasn't there. I don't live in New York, and I don't plan on going to New York spontaneously. So maybe one day. Anyways, hopefully that didn't take too long, but let's get to the real bulk of this episode, which is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Now, these new characters were revealed today. I woke up, went on Twitter, and boom, I saw a post that showed these characters, and I was like, wow. So I scrolled down a little more, and sure enough, there were multiple people talking about this, and let's just talk about the characters. So we already saw Finn and Rey. I don't know their last names. That's all we know about the characters right now, is that their names are Finn and Rey. Those are the 2 characters that will be available in the Force Awakens playset when you buy it. And I think we have a release date now. I think it said December 18th, which is pretty cool, because that's not super far away. It means it's around a month after It's about 2 months after Toy Box Speedway, and about 1 month after Darth Maul, Hulkbuster, Ultron, and Spot, which is kind of cool, because it means that every month from here on out until January even, we have something new coming out from Disney Infinity. So that's kind of crazy. So Finn and Rey, we already knew about them. They showed them at the D23 Expo, and they look awesome. They look great. And then today we saw Kylo Ren, which is the villain of the film, and Poe Dameron, who is a pilot in the Rebel Alliance or something like that. So 2 new characters today. And I actually called it in the last episode, the one where I was talking about Captain America. I actually said that there's probably going to be a Kylo Ren figure for The Force Awakens, and lo and behold, 2 days later, here it is. So I called it. But again, it's not that difficult to make a call of that, because we knew that there was going to be a Force Awakens playset, and we could probably make a general assumption that there would be more than just 2 characters, and, you know, everyone's right about that. So, yeah, Kylo Ren and Poe Dameron, taking a look at the figures, they definitely look awesome. These are other characters that are modeled after real people, and it just really impresses me to see, like, the level of detail of these characters is one of the really big selling points. Like, yeah, these are $13 figures that unlock additional content in your game, but they're also really well-made figures. Like, that's something that I've always stood by, and I definitely believe that these are really well-made, and they look great. They definitely all of these characters look great. So that's basically it. I mean, yeah, we have the release date, December 18th. That's not super far away. I forgot to check, but I think that's right around the time. I think that's like the day after or the day of the film's release, which is a pretty big deal as well. That's going to be crazy. I want to see The Force Awakens at midnight, but I know that it is going to be insane. That's a movie where, I mean, I want to see it right away as soon as possible, but that's a movie where you know it's going to be packed in the theater, probably for like a week. That's crazy, because this is a huge deal, you know, a new Star Wars movie, like, this is going to be crazy. So let me know what you think about The Force Awakens. Do you want to see it? Are you excited for these new figures? What else? Also, let's talk about the way that these were revealed. I think that that's kind of maybe interesting to talk about. So I'm still not sure, just because, like I said, I checked Twitter and I saw people talking about this, so I didn't see an official announcement. But from what I gleaned, first of all, Disney Infinity themselves did not announce these. And so that's why I'm not really saying that these figures are announced. I'm saying that they're revealed, or in a way maybe leaked or spoiled. At the New York Comic Con panel on Saturday, they did say that there would be Star Wars information, Star Wars news coming out this week. They didn't say how late in the week though, and today's only Monday, it's the first day of the week, so they could have been planning to reveal this maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe later on in the week, but for sure what we do know is that today didn't seem like the day they were planning on revealing it, or maybe they were planning on revealing it later today, who knows. Either way, it doesn't seem like this is something that is endorsed by Disney Infinity. And from what I kind of saw, it looks as though it was Amazon and Best Buy's website that revealed these characters. Again, I'm not super sure about that. Who knows? I need to do more research. I only was on Twitter for like 10 minutes. So, you know, I have no idea. You know just as well as I do. You actually probably know more than I do, but definitely let me know if you know how these were revealed, but it doesn't seem like they were planned, at least today. Something else that was revealed was the Power Disc pack for The Force Awakens. However, from the image I saw, it just has 4 Power Discs, each with a question mark on it, so we don't know exactly what those Power Discs are going to look like or what they're going to contain. And that makes sense, because we know we know like 4% information about this movie. I think they're doing a pretty good job keeping all of this under wraps and kind of keeping it quiet about what this movie is going to be about. All we know, I think, for the movie is we know very little. We know some of the main characters' names, and we know something called the First Order. I think that's what it's called, the First Order, which is like the big villainous group. We know that Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Luke, and maybe Leia are all going to appear in the movie, but we don't know how big their roles are going to be. So each of those actors are reprising their roles as those characters. But we don't know like if they're going to be like really integral to the story, or whether they're just going to kind of make cool, fun cameos there. We have no idea. But chronologically, this takes place after the events of the first 3 films, which were made and released in the 70s. So, interesting continuity here. It's pretty exciting. I mean, yeah, I'm totally excited to see these movies. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan by any stretch, but I like the characters, and I think the movies are cool, and I think the universe is cool. So I'm not like a fanatic, but I like it, you know. So let me know what you think. What do you think this movie is going to be about? It's called The Force Awakens, and we know that at the end of the Return of the Jedi, Luke prevailed. He essentially destroyed the Sith. You know, they destroyed the Sith Lord. Darth Vader died, and Luke was alive and well, and he was, as far as we know, the only Force-using person in the galaxy. I mean, obviously, there's probably others that we don't know about, but it's led to believe that, yeah, he restored balance to the Force, quote unquote, and he's the last remaining Jedi and Force user. And so, with this movie being called The Force Awakens, it's probably likely that we see new characters that can use the Force. And we know that, you know, Kylo Ren has a lightsaber, and we also have seen another trailer where John Boyega's character, Finn, he's holding a lightsaber. So it's probably worthy or notable to imply that both of those characters can use the Force, given that they can use lightsabers, right? But yeah, so now I'm just kind of getting into movie discussion, which is something that I'm not particularly tuned in. So as far as Disney Infinity goes, that's really all the information for today. It's not a lot of information, but it's actually a pretty big deal, you know, just knowing that we have these pretty interesting characters from The Force Awakens. One character that I would really like to see from The Force Awakens in Disney Infinity is Captain Phasma. She is another new character. I think she's part of the quote unquote bad guys. And she's like a high up stormtrooper. She's called a chrome trooper, I think, which she looks like a stormtrooper, but her helmet is like shiny metal. And she's actually played by Gwendolyn Christie, who is in Game of Thrones. I watch Game of Thrones, and she is a pretty cool character in that show, and so it's cool to see that she's in Star Wars. And I'll be interested to see what she does in the movie, given that she has kind of a big role and that she's gonna be, you know, pretty cool. I would like to see her in Disney Infinity, and I would love to see it voiced by the same actress, because her voice is pretty cool. So that's someone I'm hoping for. But what other Star Wars characters, or just what other characters in general, are you excited to see in Disney Infinity? Now, again, just kind of looking at the parallels here, Disney and Star Wars have been releasing or revealing characters left and right. Maybe not exactly. I mean, they revealed Finn and Rey at D23. They also revealed Spot, Nick, and Judy, Peter Pan. You know, they're revealing a lot of characters. And when it comes to Marvel, you know, everything's really hushed. Like, no one expected that Captain America reveal. But again, and I've talked about this before, but basically they teased Ant-Man at San Diego Comic-Con, which was in June. And here we are in October with literally zero information since then. All we have is a teaser image of the Hulk holding something in his hand and looking into his hand, and he's surrounded by other Marvel characters who are all looking into his hand, and it says something big is coming to Disney Infinity. And obviously that, I mean, what other character would it be? It's Ant-Man, because we know Ant-Man can shrink, and they're kind of making a little joke there by saying, oh, something big is coming, when it's small. I mean, whatever. But yeah, so they have not said a single word about that since then. And it's funny because they were actually going to reveal Ant-Man. Like, they were actually going to show him at the Comic-Con panel in June, and for some reason something happened that made it so that they couldn't show him after all. So who knows what's going on with Marvel, but at least as far as Star Wars and Disney goes, there's a lot of information there. So anyways, at this point I'm pretty much just kind of rambling on, so I'm definitely interested in hearing what you have to say about all of this, and let me know how excited you are for the Force Awakens playset, as well as the new figures just in general, and also what figures do you think will come to Disney Infinity, because I think we still have a lot to go. I think I counted it today, and I think we got, I keep saying I think, I'm pretty sure we're at about 37, maybe close to 40 characters in 3.0, with what sounds like a lot more to come. So awesome stuff here. Anyway, thank you for listening. Let me know if you kind of enjoy these, if I should do more of these. Go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you thought, if this was thought-provoking at all to you. Subscribe if you want to see more, or if you just want to see some Disney Infinity gameplay. And just have a great day today, or tomorrow, or for the rest of the week. All right, bye.